Yes. Because I'm on.
Go.
Already went. Okay, we're about to be live. Does it show you that we're recording now? All right. Hey, hey.
Hello. Welcome to Transparent Tuesdays.
Hello. We're gonna wait for everybody.
Transparent talk.
Okay, let's go. Okay. How you feeling today, sis?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. You know how it goes. I'm
Yes, it's been
good.
it's been a day.
It's been a day. It
A
has been
Murphy.
a day.
It's been a Murphy Lord Day, child. Mm,
It's been a God is good day. That's what we're gonna say. It's been a God is good day.
absolutely.
He's still working day. It is a still working
Mm,
day. It's
yes.
still working day. That's the type of day we on. A while of that. Mm-hmm. Oh my head, took my head off. Okay, took my own head off. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm just gonna make sure that everything's everything. We're gonna get in here. We're gonna get started in a few minutes. Um, 1 second. All right.
Getting our technology together.
Yes, listen, technology. This is what happens when you have too much of it, right? But we are all
Right.
right. We're gonna get in here. Everybody is gonna be all good. Right, making sure everybody's up on live and we good to go. All right.
Okay.
Anybody's out there, you watching with us, you can chat with us. We're in a chat. Feel free. Anybody's out there, you watching with us, you can chat with us. I guess I should have lowered it, right? Because the feedback. All right, everybody. Hello and welcome to Transparent Talk. It's
Yes.
Transparent
Welcome.
Tuesday, and you know what that means. You're here with your girl Kia and your girl Thania, and we're gonna get real transparent tonight. All right.
Yes.
How y'all feeling tonight? I hope y'all feeling good. I hope everything's all good with y'all. Um, throw us some chats down in the chat. If you have any discussion questions, if you want to try to come on in here, come on and let us know what's up. All right. So tonight, as usual, is Tuesday. We're doing Transparent Talk. It's our first time on YouTube. So hey to all
Yes.
of our YouTube family. We left Instagram and we're here with you on YouTube. So I'm very glad that we're here and we will be here every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Your girl Kia and your girl Thania, we will be here. So come on and join us, fellas, ladies, grab your sister, your brother, your auntie, your uncle, your co-worker, everybody. Come on in here and let's get transparent
Yes.
in here for this on this Transparent Tuesday. All
Come
right.
on in.
All right. Transparency is about being able to make your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, and your motives and your intentions easily perceived. And
Easily
that's what we want.
perceived.
Very easily perceived. We need transparency so that we can, operate and have maximum impact in every space we walk in. Every room you walk in, you want to have maximum impact. And transparency is very important when doing that, right? Transparency allows us to shine our light into the world, clearly into the world. We don't want to be dimmed. And when we're transparent, we can clearly. And what I mean by transparency, I'm not telling you to go out here and spread every last all your business and all that, but I'm just telling you to make your thoughts, make your feelings, make your intentions and your motives very clear. First to yourself, then the people around you, and then to the world on a whole, to the culture. We need transparency in our culture because it is depleting. You don't know anyone's motives. You don't know what anyone's all about. So we're trying to get real clear. And last week we started talking about leveling up, and we're going to continue that whole level up conversation tonight. So come on in here and let's get it into leveling up, and because we're in that season to level up, to go to the next. We're not staying stagnant. We're not staying the same. We're moving,
Yes.
right? We're moving into our next best. So My sister Thania is on here tonight, and we're gonna get us started with this. What we're talking about tonight on this discussion about the different levels to leveling up, because it's levels to the leveling up.
It's levels to this thing. And so last week we talked a lot about leveling up and what it wasn't. And we're not talking about the leveling up, getting your bag. We're talking about an internal process of leveling up. We're talking about leveling up internally, not about money, not about status. It's about you. And so this week we want to talk about just being real with the level that you're on at the present moment. We're not saying not to reach higher, but just be comfortable and learn the lessons at the level where you are. So we're going to get into that tonight.
Yes. So y'all ready? I hope y'all ready out there. Like I said earlier, when we get into this, throw your comments, throw your suggestions, everything in the chat. We ready, we here. Let's go. It's time to level up.
So one of the things that I really want to talk about is mastering every level. You know, with each level that we go through in life, there are lessons that we need to learn. And when we don't learn them, we keep repeating the same lessons over and over and over again. And it's not until you master that level that you're comfortably able to go to the next level. And we can spend so much time on one level, years on one level, and never get to the other level of our life.
That's a fact.
It's an exact fact. And so tonight, that's what we want to talk about. The different levels, how to be comfortable in your level, how to master the lessons in your level. You know, some of them you might take up with you, but the ones that are most concrete and beneficial, you need to learn in the level where you are.
I think what happens is that sometimes we move too fast. We get to a level and we're so anxious to get to the end goal. We're so anxious to get to the next that we don't savor. We don't accept and appreciate the level that we were brought to. Right? And I think that has a lot to do with the appreciation of being on that level. We don't get into it. We don't get into the level. We don't really get to know ourselves on that level, because when you get to different levels, you become different.
Right.
And you got to get to know yourself, get to know what you like, get to know, again, your motives, your intentions, your feelings, emotions, being in tune with that. And I think sometimes we go so fast that we don't really accept it. We don't really savor it. We don't really like bask in it, and not realizing that that level was an answered prayer.
Right.
That level, you prayed to get leveled up. You prayed for God to take you to your next. You prayed to have a breakthrough, and you had that breakthrough, but you're so busy trying to get to your next breakthrough. I'm gonna say we, because I'm gonna speak for myself. I'm gonna be honest, be transparent. I've been in that place many a times where I'm so busy and I'm so looking at the end game, the end goal, what I'm trying to get to the next, that I'm not appreciating that level that I got to, that I just prayed myself out of. Because in the process of leveling up, you're not going to get to the destination right away, right? We're going to have, it's going to be different. Like, think about it as a building with many flights of stairs. You're going to get to the second flight, then the third flight. Accept the fact that you got to the third flight. Like, that's an amazing. Clap for yourself. Celebrate that you got to, although you aiming for level 10 to get to the 10th flight, the 10th floor, be happy that you got to the third floor.
Right.
But see, some of us are so, we don't see that third floor is a blessing, that third floor is a breakthrough, that the fourth floor is a breakthrough. The fact that we got off the ground and was able to rise up is a breakthrough. But we're so busy trying to go straight for the bag, go straight for the end, that we don't get to see what's all on the third floor.
Right. The reverse is also true. You can be on a lower level than you're supposed to be, and be held back by things like fear, insecurity, lack of confidence. Those things can really, really hold a person back when you don't realize what level you've graduated to, and you don't treat that level accordingly. You know what I mean? And we lose out a lot.
Yes.
It's like stunted growth, in other words.
Right.
And that also can be detrimental to one's self-growth, if we want to say, or process.
Right.
So when we talk about that, we talk about different things like, you reach a certain stage in life, some things should drop off. Some things should no longer be, but we're still operating as though we were on the lower level.
Still on the second floor and you on the third.
So the reverse is true. Either you're low and you're supposed to be on the fourth floor, but you're on the third floor, and you're supposed to be on the third floor and you're on the fourth floor. So it's important to know what level you're on and how to negotiate that level, master that level, and then move up to the next.
I just want to thank everyone for joining us. Anyone who just joined us, just thank you for joining us. And we are talking about leveling up on this Transparent Tuesday. So if you have anything you would like to contribute, please write it in a chat. Let us know if you want to come join with us in the chat. Thank you, Sister Luciana. You out there, sister. Thank you for joining us. Good evening to you as well. Thank you for joining us on this Tuesday. So again, we're talking about leveling up, and we started leveling up last week, and this week we're continuing with the level up discussion and around this conversation about just being able to accept the different levels when you get to that level. Don't rush trying to get to, like I use an example of going up to the 10th floor. Don't try to rush to get to the 10th floor. When you got to the third floor, accept the third floor, appreciate the third floor. Let the third floor know that I appreciate you. Breakthrough, answer prayer, I'm here. Guess what? I'm breaking through the door, and guess what? I'm here.
Right.
Let the third floor know that God sent you, and I'm here. And I want to enjoy, and I want to receive everything that was on the third floor before I get to the next.
Get comfortable with it. Walk around, get to know the rooms. And in getting to know the rooms, you're getting to know yourself.
Right.
You're being solidified in yourself before you try to, not know where you are and move up to something, because it's like a graduation process. You can't skip from the first floor to the fourth floor, because there's a lot of lessons that you miss.
And I think what happens is when you skip, right, and you don't go and you don't learn yourself, you don't learn the people around you, you don't learn what the third floor or the fourth floor what they have to offer you and what the benefits of them. When you get to the sixth floor, you done miss something. And sometimes some of us keep sliding back down. And when you slide back down, you might slide past the floor you skipped. Past the floor you didn't accept, past that level you didn't accept. We end up going back down, not even to the ground floor. We end up getting to the basement sometimes.
Right back down to
lower than when we started. Because we are not really tapping in to what is going on around us. We're not tapping into ourselves and accepting what's going on. And the fact, again, that you are in an answered prayer. You are operating and living right now in an answered prayer. Absolutely. Even though you're not at your destination you want to be, even though you're not where you want to be, you're on the road to where you want to be.
Right.
And that road is an answered prayer, because in order to get there, you got to take a road there. You got to get there somehow.
Absolutely. I think it's important to pay attention to the building blocks. There are building blocks in life, in stages that you have to go through. It's like if you miss the general principles in math, you're not going to be able to go on in mathematics. When you miss a couple of things, and when you get to a certain level, your math ain't mathing because you never learned the primary, the primary.
She said the math not mathing.
The math won't math because you have not learned the primary, math. elementary math. You have not learned that. So what? You got to go back now and learn the basics so that you can get to the level where you're supposed to be.
Amen. That's a fact.
I'm guilty. I'm guilty of that in several areas of my life. So now I try to pay attention and kind of slow down. And I'm still learning in this process how to slow down and pay attention to what it is that you need to do to get to the next level.
Slow down. I'm glad you used that word, slow down.
Slow
Right?
down.
What does slowing down look like for you?
Slowing down looks like for me to really get to know what the level is all about. Right? Case in point, there was a time in ministry where I just came to church. Right? Just came to church, didn't do much. But as I began to go a little higher, then I realized that there was more study to be done. And there was a time when I didn't do that study and I was lost.
Right.
Because I didn't do the work. So now I do the work. So when I get to another level, I already know the work that I was supposed to know on the bottom level.
Right.
See, and some, it's like that fake it till you make it. That's a dangerous thing, sis.
That's dangerous. I don't believe in that.
Dangerous.
That's too dangerous. You know what I mean? People,
fake it till you make it.
Let me tell you something about faking it till you make it. That's why we are in the state of the world we are in right now. That's why the world is in the state that it is right now, because people are trying to fake it until they make it. You scroll down, you on social media, you on the news, anyway. But let's say social media, you scroll down and you scroll and you just see. I mean, where is the authenticity, right?
But I'm gonna say this, Kia. You can fake it till you make it, especially when it comes to your finances, and you're gonna choke and be broke.
Choke and be broke. I like that. Oh.
You're gonna choke and be broke.
Sister Luciana said to us, you have to also be impactful on the level you are on, because there are people coming behind you that will learn from the moves you made in that position.
Love it.
I love that, because that talks to your purpose, right? Your purpose is attached to someone else's purpose. It's not just about you, right? It's about, again, we talk about being transparent, making maximum impact in the space you walk in. So you want to make, like Sister said, you want to make a maximum impact on every level you go in by being intentional, by setting clear what your intentions are, what your motives are, being very clear and making them easily perceived. Don't have someone trying to figure you out. Like, I know how long have, for me, I'm married. I've been married for some time. And I don't know how many years I did it to my husband, and I apologize if you out there, that, trying to figure out what's going on in my head. Oh, you should know. I'm not being transparent.
Right.
I wasted so many years not being transparent. I wasted so many years not making my motives and my intentions and my feelings and my emotions clear to him.
So it brings about a state of confusion.
Right, Sister said, maximize your moments. Absolutely. Sister Lucia.
And there's something that I want to say too. When we're on a certain level, the people that aggravate us the most are the people who are helping us to get to the other level.
Of course.
Those are the people that we try to keep away from. But I've learned to appreciate people who will pull you to the side or get on you because they see the potential in you and they see where you're going. A lot of us get stuck, right? Because we don't want to hear from the people who are trying to help us. And we get stuck.
And sometimes we give them a false label as a hater, when really that person may not be your hater. Your hater might be the one walking right next to you, the one you tell all your business to, the one you taking in spaces that you shouldn't take. Because again, you are not maximizing the moment. You are not being impactful, and you're not being intentional so that you may be impactful in what you're doing, because you are living this fake it till you make it world. You want to be around the people who going to tell you what you want to hear. You're going to be around the people that's going to stroke your ego and rub your back and say that everything you're doing is okay, right? I have this thing. Okay, so again, I have this thing in the friendship I'm in. We're gonna be a united front, but you better believe I'm gonna pull you to the side and be like, listen here.
Right.
Out there, I still with you, but you know you dead wrong. You know you gotta get it together. I'm not gonna make you gotta. I'm gonna pull you up, and I hope that people around me will do the same for me. I got your back, but I'm gonna pull you up at the same time because I don't want you left behind. I don't want you slipping.
Right.
Because sometimes we can see things that others can't see, and vice versa, right? And then you slip and you fall all the way back down that flight of stairs to that level you just prayed yourself out of. That level you just worked so hard to get out of.
Right.
You don't slip back down real fast. It's a slippery slope.
But some people keep doing that for years and years and years and years and years and years and years, like myself. So now I learned to sit in the lesson, tear it apart and examine it and look at myself and say, where do I need to change this, that, and the other?
Right.
Because usually when you keep repeating the same lesson, it's because it's something that you want to do.
Right. There's an author, Mark Batterson. He's actually a pastor down in DC. And then he has a book. And in the book, he talks about, it's very profound, and I keep it in my head all the time. He talks about you can have a 20-year period. And for 20 years, you could have the same experience over and over again for those 20 years. Every year, you can have the same experience, or you can have 20 different experiences. And I think that that's such an he eloquently and easily made that point. Because are we going to keep doing the same thing over and over and over again?
Circle of insanity. The circle of insanity.
For all these years, we can be having different experiences, and we can experience different things and not the same thing over and over again. Why? Because we stuck. And then you get stuck on the floor, right? You get stuck in a level and you can't move out that level. Now we talk about not appreciating the level, but you don't appreciate the level. You may not go backwards, but you just get stuck there. You get stuck there because you have no clue of what's going on. You have no clue about who you became and who you are now. You have no clue about your likes and your dislikes now. You have no clue about getting in touch with yourself at this stage in your life. Because at every stage in your life, there's something totally different to know what to learn about yourself. And as we're growing, it's a continuum. You're going to continuously grow. You're going to continuously strive. I mean, most of us, at least, strive to get to the mark, the higher calling.
Let me put my little church finger up for a minute. What about when we stay on the level because our bestie doesn't want to go up to another level, and we don't want to leave the person on that level? Don't make your face up like that, because it happens. It's a reality.
I mean, we've all been there. Don't get me wrong. Been there, done that. Like you said, I have a T-shirt for it. But I think at this point in my life, and to speak with anyone, right? And then when I counsel people and I talk to people, the one thing I would offer to people, right, is that you are a beacon of light. And this is how I want people, because I don't want to talk bad about anyone and tell people what you do. But think about yourself as a beacon of light. And then that beacon of light, you don't put a beacon of light underneath the darkness. You don't put a lamp underneath the table. You put the lamp on top of the table. The beacon of light is on top of things. So if you're in a relationship where your light is being dimmed, and where you have to put your light underneath the darkness or turn it down. See, I got a light on right now. See, I did that one by accident. And you got to go ahead and dim that light. No. You need to reevaluate that relationship. because
Right.
you are supposed to be a beacon of light at all times. A beacon of light, because when you're a beacon of light, people are drawn to you. Purpose is being pushed out of you.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes, I mean, we all
You
had to
gotta.
walk away. We all had to. I mean, I know I speak for myself again. I'll speak for Kia. I'm not speaking for nobody
Mm-hmm.
else. I speak for Kia. Kia had to say, okay, no, I gotta protect my peace. I gotta protect my light, and I gotta protect my purpose.
And you gotta learn how to break rank.
Ooh,
It's
break
time for me
rank.
to
What you
go.
mean by that? Come on, dog. What you mean
I
by
learn how to
break
break.
rank?
Because you know, oftentimes our surroundings and the people that we have been around, and the sister said that last week, that she realized that the community that she was around, she needed to leave it in order to get to another level.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So when you're accustomed to people and you're accustomed to environments and you're accustomed to certain things that you do all the time, and you feel inside of you it's time for you to level up. You know what I mean? You have to break rank.
Because oftentimes, when you are going to the next level, you have to be around like-minded people. And I think with like last week with the sister, she wasn't around like-minded people. She wasn't
Mm-hmm.
in company of the people who were moving in the direction she was moving at this point in her life. Because let me tell you something, we evolve, and it's okay to evolve.
Right.
And sometimes when you
Anymore.
evolve, the people around you don't evolve with you. They don't evolve at the same rate as you.
Right.
Sometimes they never
That's what I'm
evolve.
saying.
You know,
Yeah.
sometimes they never evolve. Sometimes you'll leave for 10 years, come back and see that same person sitting in that same spot,
Doing the same thing.
doing the same thing after you done went and had 10 years of 10 different experiences that you done came back, spun the block, came
Right.
back, and that person is still sitting there 10 years having that same experience over and over and over again because there was no evolution in that person's life. It's okay to
Mm-hmm.
evolve. Sometimes we feel bad when we evolve, when we become enlightened, and when we know better. Because when you know better, you do better. And we feel
Mm-hmm.
bad because we can't always take everybody with us. You know, we
Right.
get into that guilt stage and sometimes almost that shame stage where you have to be shameful for the new things that is being brought into your life, the new knowledge, the new experiences you're having that you can't share with the people that you once shared them with. And that's okay too.
Right.
That's okay
But
too.
and that's a place where guilt sets in. The guilt of leaving people behind. But if you don't reach that next level, you can't pull nobody up either.
That's a fact. That's
So
an
again,
absolute
somebody got to
fact.
break rank.
That's the absolute fact.
That's a lot of thought, a lot of emotions, and a lot of situations go into that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
That's
Equally, there are people who have, and I think this is love. When you see somebody that has elevated, and you're a friend of theirs, and you see them falling back, it's love to pull their collar and say, hey, no, 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 you
right,
don't belong here.
right,
You don't belong here. You
right,
know, you belong on another level.
right,
And I know that we had to like separate, but I understand. Go back where you're supposed to be. You're no longer invited here.
right.
That's love.
Now that's your friend. That's your
That's your.
people. When
Mm-hmm.
they can recognize you, right? They can recognize everything in you, and without being negative, without feeling like they are being overly critical or putting you down. They say, no, in love, you better than this. You better than
Right.
this. And I want more for you. How many
Mm-hmm.
people out there have those type of people in your life? How many? I want you to drop it in the chat. How many people out there have those type of people in their life that's gonna say, you don't belong here anymore? Not that you're better than us as a people, but this situation is you're beyond this situation now.
Mm-hmm. Right. And that could be misinterpreted as the hater, but they're really not the hater. They're pushing you. They're pushing you. And what they're telling you is, we need you to go up so we can come up.
Because my purpose is attached to your purpose. You may not realize that,
Mm-hmm.
but my purpose is attached to your purpose. I say that so much, and it's really in me to really make people understand that your purpose is attached to so many people's purpose, and people you haven't even met, people you will never meet. That's why it's so important to operate at your maximum capacity, to do your very
Mm-hmm.
best, and to seek being the best version of yourself, because your purpose is attached to people you have never even met, is attached to people in rooms you will never even walk into. What you're doing right now is affecting someone else. What you're doing, what you're putting into the world,
Absolutely.
what you're putting into the kingdom is truly impacting so many people. And you may think in your little mind that, oh no, and because I've been in my little mind. I'm talking in my little, I'm talking about Kia. I've been here in my little mind, like, oh, I can do what I want to do. You know, I remember in my 20s, I'm grown. I can do what I want to do. It's about me. I ain't your kid role model. I ain't this, I ain't that. But it's not about that. It's about understanding the cycles of life, understanding the purpose of why we're here and what we're supposed to be doing. And that is not just about you. And being bold enough, to me, and being courageous enough to take on the responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's boldness. That's expectation. That's courage to take on that responsibility and say, you know what? It's really not all about Kia, right? It's not all about Kia. And there's people looking at Kia, and not just the people who's looking at Kia, but the people that Kia will never meet. I will never meet, but their purpose is attached to my purpose. And it might be attached to my purpose by you. It might be attached to my purpose by one of my children. It might be attached to someone that's part of the church that I don't even know. Somehow, something that I'm doing, something that was put in me.
Right.
But it takes boldness. It takes courage.
It takes courage.
Confidence to truly move like that. It takes confidence to say, you know what? I am going to do, I'm going to focus on, I'm going to do the right thing, and I'm going to focus on purpose. I'm not going to be out here willy-nilly because it's so much more counting on me. And I'm okay with that. You know, people, you know, I hear people say all the time, you know, oh, I don't want that responsibility. I just want to be me. Well, then you're not the one in your bloodline that's going to take your bloodline to the next level. You're not that legacy builder. Just move to the side then and allow somebody else to get into the place. Right. Because I feel like people like that are blocking.
I think one of the things is too that when you think about moving up into another level or stepping out on something, right? For a period of time, it may be a very lonely place. But then you see that the people that are attached to your dream, God will bring them in. We talked about that today. How both of us, three of us, all of us been waiting so long to do these particular things. And it's not until we stepped out that the Lord sent us to each other and we found each other, and now here we are.
And it's not like we haven't tried to do it with someone else, but that someone else wasn't the destiny person. Right? As much as we wanted that person to meet, as much as we wanted it to work, as Ecclesiastes, the time for everything. Right? The time for everything. And I like this, Sister Luciana also putting in the importance of legacy is not taught in our community, let alone in the church. And that's the thing. We don't talk about legacy. We don't talk about legacy building. We don't talk about kingdom building. We don't talk about, you know, you hear, and there was this video going around social media, and it named all the last names of all of the top, you know, the luxury brands, you know, and it talks about, you know, operating in your name. And what I like about that is it speaks to legacy. It speaks to legacy. You know, I didn't care so much that, you know, you're talking about the luxury brands, I get it. I get it. And it actually was a good comparison to get the world's attention.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just the tip of the iceberg when we started speaking about legacy. Because legacy is more than just your name, right?
Exactly.
Legacy is the cloth you're cut from.
Mm-hmm.
Legacy is what you're going to be bold enough and confident enough to do. Legacy is going to be, you're going to be that one to say, I'm cutting, I'm stopping everything. Or every
Right.
generational curse is ending with me. Every stronghold is ending with me. I'm the one that my bloodline has been waiting for.
Mm-hmm.
I'm that one. But so many of us want to be turned up. So much
Right.
want to be so out in the world and live this quote unquote, they say, what their luxury life, they soft life. That
Mm-hmm.
we're not focused on living a life that's filled with purpose, that's gonna establish a true legacy, a true foundation.
Right.
And the money can't, and the money it can't be with money though. It can't start with money is the icing on the cake. The
Right.
foundation of the legacy starts from within. It starts
Right.
with your character. It starts with who you being bold enough to walk in who you were supposed to be. Because we are all created for different purposes and for different reasons.
Mm-hmm. And this is the thing, right? A lot of time we spend so much time thinking about what wasn't left for us that
Mhm.
we don't realize that we're the people that's supposed to leave it.
And there you go. There you
A lot of
go.
times we so like I don't, nothing was left for me.
Mhm.
I nothing was given to me, and you don't realize that you're the one that's supposed to begin the legacy.
You're the one. You waiting for the hand me down, and you're the one who's supposed to be handing it down. You're the
There you
you're
go.
the you're the one. You're the check writer. You know
Mm-hmm.
what? You understand? You're the one. You are the one.
Absolutely.
And we're so busy looking for it somewhere else that we don't know that it's already on the inside of us.
Or being mad about it
Don't be mad.
instead of
Get
doing
glad.
something about it, being mad about it.
Don't be mad. Get glad. That's all I can say. Don't be mad. Get glad. Because you know
Lesson
what?
learned.
If we focus on again the calling, if we focus on the calling, if we focus on where we're supposed to be at that appointed time, if we focus on the fact that we're climbing the steps to the second floor and this is where we belong right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't belong on the elevator to get straight to 10. I belong on these steps walking
Mm-hmm.
so that I can receive every step, every
Right.
grain,
I love that. I
everything
love it.
that I'm supposed to receive. I'm receiving it. So by the time I get to 10, because don't think this is the only building you're going to get to the top floor. This is just one time. This is not the only time
Just
he's going to
one.
level you up because there's a season after season after season. But by the time I get to 10, I done took the route that I was supposed to take. By the time I get to 10, I'm going to be so ingrained in my purpose, so confident,
Mm-hmm.
so bold, and everyone who was supposed to come with me is prospering. Everyone who's attached to me is prospering. And then now that we're here at level 10, and this is the maximum level for this season, don't think the seasons don't start again.
Now wait a minute.
Start.
I can hear somebody saying, I'd rather take the elevator. But when you take those steps, you learn how to take the steps after a few flights. You learn how to master those steps. You
Yes.
learn how to breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You learn how to, first of all, you get strengthened.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Taking
Yes.
those steps, those muscles get strengthened. And you learn how to be resilient and just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
The lessons are learned at each steps. There are benefits to it instead of just going straight up to the top and missing all the steps that you needed to take. So
Mm-hmm.
when you take the steps and you get up there, you can carry the weight. You're strong enough to
Ooh.
carry the weight of what was given to you.
Yes, the weights. Let's talk about the weights. And yes, sister. Sister said we got comfortable with mediocrity. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. We're not, I just want to do, I'm going to get back to this weight thing, but I just want to get this mediocrity thing right. Yeah, the weight. See, the thing is, we got comfortable with mediocrity because we got comfortable with the world. We got comfortable with someone else telling us who we are. We got comfortable with aiming to be like something or someone else other than who we are supposed to be, and forgetting who we serve, and forgetting that we are an unstoppable people, that we were created in the image of a sovereign God, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that we were to be blessed and multiplied. And we don't have to behave like, I don't have to behave like Damien. Damien doesn't have to behave like Kia. We don't have to say the same things. We're walking a different walk, although we're parallel right now. You walking your walk, I'm walking my walk.
Mm-hmm.
And we're intersecting right now at this point. And that happens
Right.
very often. We intersect. We come together. We run parallel. God gives us that prophetic thread that you always talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But we must always operate. See, that's what I'm talking about operating at maximum capacity. Because when you operate at maximum capacity, you understand that mediocrity is not even an option. You understand that you doing your very best will get you supreme, will get you mega.
Right.
That when you walk in boldness and you walk without fear, worried about what keeping up with the Joneses, keeping up with Jack and Jill, and doing all of this other stuff to assimilate,
Mm-hmm.
instead of walking in who you are supposed to be and understanding what you're supposed to be doing right now in life, we tend to say, okay, it's safe in mediocrity land. It's safe in mediocrity land. It's safe in this regular old situation. It's safe in this ordinary place. But not understanding that you're not ordinary. Well, I'm not ordinary. I know my sisters here not ordinary. You know, we're not ordinary. We're peculiar people. We said that last night. We're peculiar people, and it's okay. It's okay not to fit in.
Mm-hmm.
You better off not fitting in. You can't put this circle in no square. You can't put this circle in an octagon or a triangle in it. It's not a good fit.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're a circle and you start hanging out with octagons and triangles, they can't hold the weight that you can hold. They're not used to bench pressing what you bench pressing. They're not used to doing them. They're not strong like you. They can't do those push-ups and they can't hold weight on their shoulders.
That's right. You got to train for that.
You got to train
for that.
You got to train. Like an athlete train. It puts their body into subjection. That Paul said that, right?
Mm-hmm. Push it.
Because we train for a different kind of crown. Right? So we gotta get our minds, our bodies, our spirits, and beat it into training, into subjection. And we can't ever forget that. We can't ever forget that.
It starts here.
The battle of the mind. That's the one trick the enemy has. The one trick, and he's really good at it. Deception, tricking you, getting into your mind. And he's really good at his job. But you know what? We are better. But not when we're sitting in ordinary land.
Let's talk about the weight. Let's talk about the weight.
Okay.
Let's talk about the fact that if you don't take the steps, you can't carry the weight. If you don't go through the process, you can't carry the weight.
Because you train it.
Yeah. You know, and the example that you made about taking the steps to the 10th floor, when you do 1, 2 flights, you're winded. And then you say, okay, I got to take these steps another way. Your legs are tired. Okay. You may have to do it another way. And when you get up there, you're ready because you've already done all of that work. So you're strengthening, you're ready for the task.
Yes.
You know, that's like a doctor just faking it all the way to, or those people who get those certificates online, but they lie and never did anything, never did the work online, never did the work. Just bought this, never did the work.
Not a lick, not a lick.
There's a problem. Or just got by in school.
But those levels are getting you in shape. So you can hold weight, so you can bear weight. So you can, I've been waiting for somebody. We talk about that. I've been waiting for somebody that can hold some weight. I've been waiting for somebody that can hold some weight.
Right.
Right? Because I'm a stair taker. I was an elevator taker at one time. Here, let me tell you. I was an elevator taker. Let me tell you something. One thing I learned. Whew.
Short, don't work.
Don't work. Don't work. It may
work
in the short term.
Not every shortcut is a good cut.
Ooh, no. What Brown say? All money ain't good money.
Right.
That's his favorite line. All money ain't good money, sis.
That part. Not every shortcut is a good cut.
And more oftentimes when we really go through it, right? Because we don't believe in ourselves. That's another reason why we take shortcuts. We don't believe that we have the power to get through the eye of the storm. But I just want to ask you guys, I want to throw it out to you. How many times have you gotten through the eye of the storm? And why can't we keep that in our memory bank? That I've come through the eye of the storm 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. I've come through the eye of the storm. But when a new storm comes up against me, I forget about that storm I already came through. You should be a pro at getting through storms. A pro of knowing when a storm comes up, that's okay, storm, let's go. Now I'm ready, Let's get ready. And I don't think that, sometimes I get a little doubt and I'd be like, get your mind right, get your mind right. Having self-talk to myself, get your mind right. You might have been through the same situation, but you've been through the storm before. You stronger than
I was looking at something yesterday and I was thinking about the ebbs and flows of life and how ebbs and flows liken to the ocean and the waves when you're at the beach. And the waves are coming violently, but then they die down and they come on shore, but then they draw back. Right? So everything may seem like it's coming at you rapidly, right? But if you stand, it'll ease off. This is life. We have to understand there are ebbs and flows, ups and downs, and you go with them. But you stand. You stand.
Standing. Sister said we on tonight. Luciana said we on tonight. Thank you, sis. Just being transparent.
So that's the thing. You just have to learn how to weather the storm. When you stand in the water at the beach, you feel the current going, but you don't let it drift you away. You stand.
That's a fact.
I think that's one of the hardest parts. And you have to know how to stand alone.
Ooh.
Did I say that? I like to have a lot of people standing with me. But you have to know how to stand alone. That was one of the hardest lessons for me. How to stand alone. And let people talk about you, call you crazy, all this other kind of stuff, and you still stand and believe what you believe. That part. I see you reading comments over there.
Oh no, I was just making sure. I was making sure. Trying to keep up with them.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just we have to really, really just dig in. That's all I'm saying. Just really dig in and understand that the truth of the fact is when you get to your level, whatever level that is, but on the way, enjoy the journey. Appreciate the journey. Accept the journey. Take all of the little, like you said, the ebbs and the flows of the journey. Because sometimes you might be stuck on a level longer than you thought you was trying to get to that destination, but you know you're going to get to that destination. You know you're going to get there. How do you know? Because you've been through this before already.
Mm-hmm.
And you're breaking into new territory. How do you know you're breaking into new territory? Because again, I'm going to remind you that you're living in that answered prayer. You're living in that breakthrough.
Absolutely.
Recognize that. Accept that. You may not be where you want to be. I said this already. You may not be where you want to be, but it's very important to accept it and to recognize that although you didn't get to that 10th level, always remember that 3rd level, that 4th level, that 5th level. Those are breakthroughs and those are answered prayers. Why? Because you're on your way.
Mm-hmm. And aligning. We go back to the other series, and we're talking about aligning, prioritizing, and now leveling up. I wrote something yesterday that came to me, and it was talking about us spending more time thinking about the days that we have left than actually planning for the days that we do have. And not to let this be your thing, because you will leave a legacy of wasted days. Because we've been working our days. We're here, but you and we work all day. From the time we get up to the time it's time to get on.
Mm-hmm.
We work. And people don't see it, but we're working towards a purpose. So we're no longer wasting our days. We're not wasting days. But when you leave a legacy of wasted days, it's a sad thing.
Because you die full. The word says we should die empty. What does that mean to die empty? That empty means that you did everything that you were purposed to do. That everything that you were put on this earth to do, for whatever amount of time you were purposed to be on this earth, for whatever amount of time that it was your time to be here, that you got up and you emptied out everything. You got up, empty out everything, every idea, every prophecy, every message, everything that was in you, you put out into the world. Because again, your purpose is attached to someone else's purpose. You're not sitting and holding it to yourself. Stop holding it to yourself. Somebody needs that idea you have in your head. Somebody needs that dream you've been dreaming. It may not be the people around you, because your purpose may not be attached to the people around you. You may not have gotten to around the people that your purpose are attached to.
I just want to say this, because at a lot of times in life, we go through periods when we know we're supposed to be somewhere else. We feel that thing inside of us so strong, but depression sets in, insecurity sets in, all kinds of things come to you in your mind, in your spirit, that you can't make it. You're not good enough to do it. And I just want to tell somebody, get up.
Get up.
Get up.
You are good enough.
Yes,
the world needs you. The world needs you. You may not believe it. Someone around you may not have ever told you, but I'm here to tell you today, we're here to say that the world needs you. You were not born for no reason. You were born because the world needs you.
Absolutely.
Because the world needs you. They need what's inside of you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. It is just so very important. You know, there were times when I was just, and seriously, when I never thought that I've been trying to do this for years. For years. And it was not until I was like, yes, this is God. I see what you see, and this is what's going to happen. And I began to step out, and God provided the people with the minds and the love and the support to get it done.
Well, she said, clocks don't stop and time won't wait. That's a fact.
Right. Yeah.
That's a
That sure
fact.
is true.
Again, clocks don't stop and time won't wait. Hmm.
So not too
Mhm.
old, as long
Yes.
as you have breath, or
Mhm.
as I'd like to say, as long as you got gas, you can
Yes.
get that motor going.
Yes.
As long as you have gas.
Mhm. Sister said, Progressive Sisters Network. Thank you. Hey, sisters, Progressive Sisters Network. That's one of my partner networks that I work with, and that they are a network that helps. I want you to come on here one day, Progressive Sisters
Thanks for
Network.
coming in.
We can talk. Thanks for coming in. But they help formerly incarcerated families and people re-enter, specifically women re-enter in their families. So very good sister network.
Awesome.
And they said, you are living in the answer prayer. Yes, that's what we've been talking about, us living in the
Yeah,
answer prayer. Absolutely.
we appreciate your
Absolutely.
support. We
Appreciate it.
appreciate your support.
Mhm. Yes.
So,
For
did you see
real.
our closing message?
This is our sister said, our sister Luciana came back and said, this is blessing me, so I needed this tonight. And I needed it too. I'm glad.
Yes.
God be the glory. I don't take no
Yeah.
credit for it.
We both needed it. We
We
both
all
needed
needed
it.
it. Thank you. Everyone in here needed it. Yes.
Yes.
Because sometimes we get caught slipping. That's just what it all. That's
Mm-hmm.
just what it is. We get caught slipping. And
Oh,
sometimes
yeah.
we need to tell somebody, hey, you slipping.
Mm-hmm. You know, I would love to see some of the people who are on and have been on our talks,
Mm-hmm.
and those who have not, even if they don't know us,
Mm-hmm.
send in some suggestions
Right.
of topics, because we talk about what we're gonna say on Tuesdays,
Mm-hmm.
but we just let it happen.
Mm-hmm.
It is not rehearsed. It just happens.
So what you can do is follow us on Instagram as Transparent Talk CO, and I'm gonna put a survey up. Hit the survey up. I'm gonna put it up all week, every day. I'm gonna put up the survey, and I'm gonna give everybody the opportunity to come on, and it's gonna be in the stories. So follow us, Transparent Talk CO on Instagram, and it'll be in the stories. And tell us what you want to talk about, or
Mm-hmm.
DM us. We on TikTok, we on Instagram, we on Facebook. Hit us up. Tell us what you want to talk about. Which we're being transparent. This is not just for us. This is for us as a community.
Yes, we have decided that transparent talk is loving ourselves and
Mm.
being clear with ourselves from the inside out.
Amen. That's a fact. That's a fact. That is a fact. So we got 2 minutes left. Woo!
Yes.
That went fast.
What's the quote? What's the quote for the day? You have all the information in front of you. What's the quote?
Let's see. Let's see. Let me roll it down. Let me roll it down. Let's get back to legacy. We need to talk about this more. We need to really get into this whole legacy thing. And I think that today, outside of you living in an answer prayer, you're operating, not that you're living, you're operating right now in an answer prayer. Right now, we're sitting here. Right now, you're operating in an answer prayer. And remember that. I say two things. Remember that you're operating in an answer prayer. Don't discount small beginnings. Don't discount the lower levels because you're not
Right.
at the high level where you're aiming for. Don't discount that because that level, those small beginnings, is an answered prayer because you were able to get to that beginning. You were able to get past the beginning. You was at the mark and you passed the mark and you're aiming and you're going towards your goal, your destiny. Second thing, legacy. Oh, I love this with Sister Luciana said this. The importance of legacy is not taught in our communities, let alone in the church. We really, really have to touch on legacy. We really, really have to understand the importance of legacy and not just saying I'm not a role model, of owning our stuff,
Mm-hmm.
own our stuff, owning who we are,
Yes.
looking back and really setting a stage and making a way for the ones coming behind us. And I'm not just talking about
Absolutely.
our seed. I'm not just talking about your seed. Again, we're talking about the people that is connected to the purpose, to your purpose, and then the people that's connected to your seed's purpose. It's a lot. It's a lot. But who's bold enough to do it?
Right.
Who's confident enough to do it?
Well, I'll say this as we wrap up to our community, and thank you for being here. We love you. In leveling up, let's take time to build on the building blocks and to take the steps to the next level. Don't skip anything. Don't take the elevator. We thank you for being here, and we love you. See you again next week, Tuesday, on YouTube.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. Oh, subscribe. Hit the like button, right? Hit the button and like the video. Thank you.
And share. Invite somebody next week.
Oh, that too. That too.
See you guys. Thank you for joining us.